Hi everyone.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Glad to see you all.
welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is the influencers. Good to see you guys. We love what you did. We love your comments. We're seeing some of the comments. It's really encouraging. And thank you very much for watching our previous episodes. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We love you all.
We love you
Thank
guys.
Thank
My
you.
name is still Victory and she's Blessing. Okay. Like I promised that we have a very special session in August. Yeah. So we have someone very distinguished in our midst today. She's a mother and she's the proprietress of Deltos Model School. Wow!
Welcome, ma.
Yeah, we love you, ma. Thank you
ma.
so much for coming. I feel so honored.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
ma.
ma.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Okay, so today we'll be talking about depression.
Depression.
Yeah, depression and the causes, the effects, a lot of things. Talking
How
about
to overcome.
yes, and how to overcome depression too. So because a lot of persons we have been getting feedback, a lot of persons are depressed and they don't even know. That's the funniest part of this thing. Some persons are depressed, they don't know that they are depressed. Some persons are going through a lot of things, especially even in this time, such a time like this where COVID-19, some persons don't even know, people have lost their lives and all of that. And so we'll be talking about how can we overcome it. How can we overcome depression? What is depression and a lot of things about it. And our very own mother, which we have in our midst, will be doing a lot of the talking today. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. Welcome, ma.
Thank you, ma.
So, ma, we'll be asking some questions. So, we'll start with one. What is depression? A lot of people don't know the meaning of depression. They don't know what's the meaning of depression. So, ma, can you please shed more light on that? What is depression, ma?
Depression is a mental health challenge. I'm not going to bother us with the physiology aspect or the medical aspect of it, but it is important for us to know that it's a mental health challenge and it's a mood disorder. How does the person feel? The person that is depressed, it starts with feeling of sadness, sorrow, worthlessness, emptiness, and then the person begins to feel like killing him or herself, suicidal. So it starts gradually from sadness to sorrow to worthlessness, unworthiness, feeling of guilt, self-pity, and then you are like, it's worthless being alive, and it can be that bad. When such a person is not helped, the person can actually end up killing him or herself. It can be that bad. That is the extreme. Okay, there are different types of depression. The major one, which could be suicidal. It can have symptoms within 2 weeks, and the chronic one, which can be for some years. Symptoms can be for years, and the person is seeing the symptoms of all these things that I just mentioned now: sadness, sorrow, loneliness, loss of something, or loss of interest in the things you were interested in before. You don't just want to be alone. You feel worthless. The person begins to feel, what am I doing here? What am I doing on earth? Why am I here? Nobody loves me, nobody cares for me. In fact, I'm wasting my time. And that is why they go to the extreme of suicidal.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for that. Thank you, we really appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
Okay, so we'll be going to the next questions. How do someone know if he or she is depressed? Because some people don't know they are depressed. How do they know if they are depressed? What are you've mentioned the symptoms,
Yes.
but some people, these symptoms, even when they are showing the symptoms, they don't even really know that what's wrong with them is depression. They just feel like, okay, I'm just, sometimes people used to mistake depression with mood swing. Some people can just be like, oh, I'm having mood swing. So how do they know if they are really depressed?
Yes, because I said it's a medical condition, it's a mental health. If it's persistent, anybody can be depressed at any point in time. Maybe you hear the bad news, you can use the word as an English word, I'm depressed. Do you understand? And you come out of it. But when the problem is when you cannot come out of it, that is when it becomes, when you, or let me not say when you cannot come out of it, when you find it difficult to come out of it, or you are having the feeling that you don't want to come out of it. Once you're having that feeling, that's when you know you need help. Once you're having the feeling that I'm in a depressed state and I don't want to come out of it, I just want to remain in it. That is the mental health. Okay, but someone just say, you hurt someone, you lost someone, or something happened that you don't like and you just feel bad at that time. You know, it happens to everybody. Who has ever felt bad?
True.
You know, it happens to everybody at every point in time. But when it becomes a problem, is where it happens persistently. You know, it keeps on, and it's from sadness, it becomes sorrow, you begin to nurse it in your mind, and everything is coming out as, you know, sense of worthlessness, and it's persistent. You understand? So those are the symptoms. And the person feels angry, there's anger, there's aggressiveness, there's irritation. You are irritated, you are having mood swing, you come in and out, or you are not wishing to come out. The underlying factor is when you are not wishing to come out, that's when it's dangerous. Then the person begins to feel hopeless, emotional, you know, it starts with crying, weeping, and all that, self-pity. Then bad thoughts begin to come. The person can say, let me go and take drugs. Start thinking of taking drugs to help themselves, and that worsens it. You know, if the person is married, he doesn't want to come near the spouse. Another symptom is it affects the cognitive part of you, the ability to concentrate, unable to complete a task. When you see someone, he cannot take decision. He says yes today, tomorrow he's saying no. You know, he's being influenced. He wants to do something, he has a project. Then you call him or her, what about the project? I'm not interested anymore. You know, that person might be suffering from depression. Indecisiveness. Okay? Someone cannot sleep. Either you are sleeping too much. You know, depression is at times, it might be difficult to discern because it can happen to people in opposite ways. Some people might gain weight because it's physical. Part of the symptoms is that you can gain weight. And so people might not even know, you are looking robust. You don't know that it's because you are sleeping too much. You can't do the normal day-to-day activity that you involve in. So you've just been sleeping all day, or you just been eating. You know, you are thinking and you are just putting food in your mouth, and you don't know that the food is okay. You've forgotten yourself, so you are adding weight. Okay, and the other extreme, it can be weight loss. So don't say because someone is has added weight, the person is not depressed. Do you understand? It can be addition of weight, can be loss of weight, fatigue, pains, headache, decreased energy. There is decreased energy. You don't want to do, you know, you don't want to go ahead to do what you want to do. What interests you before, what you love doing before, you just find out that you've lost interest in them. You know, so those are symptoms, those are signs that you need to look out for. Someone wants to be alone. Why? Why does the person want to be alone? You know, it's good at times to be alone. Maybe you want to think, you want to or do some work. The person is sad. He doesn't want people around. And these are signs. These are signs that we need to, you know, look out for. Someone cannot take a decision. He's saying yes today, no tomorrow. You know, these are loss. You don't want loss of affection for your spouse is also a sign. When, as a married person, a young person, you know that okay, this person is not willing to come close. Know that, you know, the person can be suffering from depression, so it can come in different ways.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much, ma. It can come in different ways. Some people can be depressed for 20 years. That struck me hard. Wow. So depression can go as far as years. Wow. That means there are more people that are depressed, they are even alive, that we don't know about.
Yes, walking on the streets.
Thank you very much for that. That was really enlightening. Then the next question we'll have for you, Ma, is how can we overcome depression? Firstly, before we talk about how we can overcome depression, I want us to talk about the causes of depression. What causes this thing? Why would I just sit down and be like, I am depressed? What's that
Okay,
saying?
medically, from the medical research, I think the most, as in the highest level of course, is genetical.
Mm.
That's a family background. So because family background or genetical, that means it's in the gene.
Wow.
It can be hereditary.
Wow.
That's what I mean. Yes, it can be hereditary. Why? Because science says that the structure of the brain, how the brain is, is being arranged. There's what we call frontal lobe of the brain. That if the frontal lobe of the brain is less active, it can be the cause of it. So, such things are genetical. So it can be hereditary. Okay, so if as a mother you notice that you suffered from it, it's likely maybe the children. And so as we're talking about the causes, I might be mentioning some solutions.
Okay.
Okay, so that we'll save time and also will not leave some things out. So it's kind of it's someone that knows that okay, you suffered from it or your parents suffered from it, your child could have it, you have overcome it. You forget to train your children, you forget to enlighten them, you forget to teach them, and you, depending the time they are with you, you are supposed to have groomed them to know that, because it might not affect them when they were children, it might be when they grow or when they are growing up in their teens, when they are young adults. So you will have groomed them, prepared them for it, so that when it's coming, they are already aware and they can overcome it. So it can be genetical. It can be as a result of trauma, early childhood trauma. And there could be different reasons, maybe physical assault, sexual, emotional harassment, abuse, or it could be maybe abuse in the school, maybe the child was abused, not necessarily sexual, it could be abused. The child has a low self-esteem because maybe the child started school early, he doesn't understand what school is all about and is frustrated about school. Depression can start from anywhere. Can actually start from there, and the child begins to have low self-esteem that, maybe you could not write early and it becomes a problem, and you begin to have depression. Maybe you didn't start academics. Some children, they have different developmental stages, and educationists need to understand that some children don't pick up early, and child development at the early stage can be broad. For instance, there is a large difference between a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old. There is a big difference between a 3-year-old and you don't say 3 to 4, they are the same. No, it's like saying, okay, when you say 31 and 32 years, they are the same. 32 can even be far better. Even 30 to 40 self. A 30-year-old and a 40-year-old, when they sit together, there might not be any difference, any significant difference in achievements and everything. But 3 to 4, the gap is very wild. If you study child development. So you can't say what a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old is doing, the 3-year-old should do it. Because 1 month is like 5 years. So, and if the child, you start saying, you want the child to quickly catch up, you want the child to be promoted, you want the promotion, you want your promotion, and the child is not coping, and the child is not ready emotionally, even if the child is coping academically, that can bring depression. And it can be an underlying factor which other things will build upon. Mark the word underlying factor. That might be the main cause. It could be, I've said, family, genetical, early childhood trauma, medical condition. Maybe the person has a chronic illness, sickness can bring depression. When it's chronic, it's for a long time. Drug abuse can also lead to depression. Okay. Low self-esteem. We were talking about low self-esteem the other day. Low self-esteem is what we really need to dwell on. Then mental illness, some medications too can cause it. Maybe you are trying to treat one sickness, and that particular drug for that sickness is causing a kind of that kind of chemistry in the body, so it can cause depression. Stressful events maybe loss of loved one, economic problem, divorce. You lost your boyfriend and mentioned earlier, barrenness, unnecessary peer pressure, like pressure from parents, peer pressure from your peers. Pressure from your peers can result like you made mention of someone that killed herself because the boyfriend left her. You can imagine. It doesn't make sense, right?
It's
Does it
funny.
make sense?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense, but look at it. That girl was already suffering from depression.
Yeah.
Maybe she had early childhood trauma, for instance, or there's depression in the family history. Okay, now she managed to have some friends. Maybe she came from a broken home. She's already depressed. She came from a broken home, or the mother had already told her, the parents told her, you are a mistake. You were planning for 3 children, you came, now it's normal. 3 children is, if you don't have 3 children, you don't have children. You have 2. You have 1. They'll tell you that one is not enough. You are not yet a mother until you have 2. Then when you don't have 2, it's also a problem. So the girl is already feeling bad that it's not part of the family. So that one is the underlying depression. Now you get to school, you manage to have friends, and your friends are telling you, if you don't have a boyfriend, you are not normal.
Things like that.
Yeah, that means I'm not normal because
They told me
parents had already
that.
told me I'm a mistake.
Good.
And nobody knew that. You didn't know that. You didn't know the parents told her to her face that she's a mistake. Now the friends are telling her she's not normal. Now she managed to have a boyfriend. Can you imagine? And the boyfriend has been maltreating her. She has been managing the boyfriend because they told me that I'm a mistake. They told me I'm not normal. So I just have to keep on this relationship so that I can be normal. And finally, the boyfriend left her. So you people didn't know that she was from a broken home, or the parents told her she's a mistake. You people didn't know that she was under pressure to have a boyfriend. You people didn't know. And now all you heard is that she killed herself because she lost her boyfriend, or her boyfriend left her. So you can see that it's not really the boyfriend leaving her that is the problem. There are underlying problems. There are factors. There's pressure. And we need to be careful the way we put people under pressure. The society keeps you under pressure. For instance, you leave secondary school, you not gain admission.
They start
You are writing jams, you are writing UTME, write everything, and you are not having a headway. You want to go to university, you don't want to consider technical school, you don't want to consider National Open University, you don't want to, look at it that maybe you just have to find some other things doing, but you said no, it has to just be university. Because if you are not in university, all your friends will not reckon with you. You are nobody. All your siblings went to university, so you must go to university. Who said? Now you have gone to university, and now you have a carryover. Maybe someone had a carryover, one carryover, and she killed herself. And people are like, how could she kill herself because of carryover? Why? And I'm telling you, it's not just because of that carryover. The girl has not learned. She has not been trained. She has gone to a private school. Sorry to use that word, private school. But she has gone to, that's the truth, she has gone to a private school where maybe she never knew failure. There's pressure too. There's pressure of, why should my child fail when I paid school fees? Why? Why should you come first and my child will come second? Are we not paying the same school fees? Why? Why are you so partial? Everybody should come first. And so, if such schools, they bow to the pressure, they give everybody first or do whatever they want to do, allow very less my people go. And the child went to secondary school again, the same experience. They have never experienced failure. And now you get to the university, and they tell you there's something called failure. How are you going to handle it? How do you handle it? So, Failure, people need to learn. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
causes and
causes
the,
and the-
you know, now people need to learn that there's what we call failure, and it's not a disease.
Yeah, yeah.
You all know about Thomas Edison. We all talk about him. That he tried, failed, until he was able to discover electricity.
Yeah.
Okay, what if he had tried once and he said, my school didn't fail?
Life failure.
I know of someone that spent 7 or 12 years in the university studying a 4-year course. And so you had a carryover and you killed yourself. No, so now when two of you now get to meet God and God says, why did you kill yourself? Because I had one carryover. Why did you kill yourself? I mean, why did you kill? Because I had one carryover. How many carryovers do you have? Pastor, I cannot count. In fact, I spent like 7, 8 years doing a 4-year course. And you heard, what are you going to say? What excuse do you have?
What excuse?
Now, one thing about depression is this: everybody can be depressed. Everybody has a reason to go into depression.
Yeah.
But some people don't because they chose not to. That's okay. Because the situation that is making you depressed has happened to somebody else. But you know, you try to believe in yourself, that in your heart, that this has never happened. We've never seen it before. In my languages, they say we've never seen it before. Who said? Okay, you have a carrier, you've never seen it before? You've never seen it before. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it is your state of mind, and that is why we said it's genetical, it's a mental problem, a health problem, because someone else has passed through that situation, but you are passing through it now, and you cannot handle it. Okay? So you are passing through now, you cannot handle it. Then another thing is low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Another cause is low self-esteem, and we all know that low self-esteem can result in pride. You know, some people are proud and say, why is this person so proud? And that. You don't know the person is suffering from depression. You know, pride has 2 ways. You are full of yourself. The other way, the person is not full of himself. The person is trying to package, to manage, so it's showing it is the thing is manifesting in the form of pride, but it's depression.
True.
So how do you beat that? How do you explain that? That pride can be low self-esteem. Do you know that? Pride can be low self-esteem.
Wow. I learned, okay, actually I actually learned something today. Okay, although there was a time I used to think pride can be low self-esteem, but I wasn't too sure. I was still trying to do my findings, but this just got me the nail. Like the nail was just driven into the head right now. Like seriously. Thank you so much, Ma. Really appreciate that. It was really an educative experience.
Thank you, Ma. We learned a lot today. We really appreciate your presence. So, as you all know that depression is a wide topic, we cannot finish it today. So next month we'll continue on this topic because of our time. We'll continue on depression. So stay tuned. Next month, don't worry, we have something cooking. We will finish this topic. We will not rest until this generation is better.
Yeah.
We will never rest.
We will never settle for less.
We will never settle for less. This
Freedom.
generation must be better. This generation must be better. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We love you all. Stay better. Stay blessed. Let's learn to work on ourselves. And to please talk to someone. If you are depressed, talk to someone. See a counselor, see a therapist. Talk to someone. Just talk to someone. Please don't just die in silence. And we are sure that we'll be better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you very much. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you next month, September.
Bye.